Now listen, the next one is relation between the radius of curvature and focal length. Alright, we have to do the mathematical derivation for it. Okay, now for this one, first you draw the concave mirror. As I said that PC 6 cm you will take, PF 3 cm. Now you see what I have drawn. I have taken a ray AB parallel to the principal axis. So after reflection it is passing through the focus. Alright. Now you see here this convex mirror, I am coming later on. So here you see, if you consider the diagram, if you join B and C, BC is what? BC is the normal, isn't it? So you see ABC, angle ABC equal to angle FBC. Yes or not? These two angles, both of them are equal. So let us consider both of them equal to theta. Alright, why they are equal? As angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This is the incident ray, ABC is the angle of incidence and FBC is the angle of reflection. Alright, clear to everybody what I said? Now you consider this case, AB and PC. They are parallel and you see BC is the transversal. BC is the transversal. Then what will happen? AB and PC parallel, BC transversal. Then you see angle ABC equal to alternate angle BCF. Alright, you can write it as alternate angle. Okay, so you see if you consider this is equation 1, this is equation 2, then in both the cases ABC equal to FBC and ABC equal to BCF. So I can name this as theta. Alright, why I am naming it? So that from the diagram one can write down which two angles are equal. So you see what you can write from equation 1 and 2. Alright, you are getting angle FBC equal to angle BCF. Yes or not? So, if these two angles are equal, then what will happen? Side BF and FC, they should be equal. So, you can write BF equal to FC. Alright. Now, if you consider the point B actually very close to the point P. Alright, when I will show you the mirror, when we will meet again in the school, then I will show you the mirror. The mirror itself is very small in size. Okay, so here when I have drawn the diagram and you are also drawing the diagram, then it is becoming big, isn't it? But the actually mirror is very small. The entire mirror is of this size. So what you can say, the point B and P, they are very close to each other. So you can write point B and P are very close to each other. Now the space is not there, so I am writing it here. Okay, but you do not write like this. You will have space, so you do here only. So here what you can write then, if B and P are very close to each other, it means BF approximately equal to PF. Alright. So you see here BF equal to FC, again BF equal to PF. So what one can write? PF equal to FC. PF equal to FC. So PC is equal to PF plus FC means 2PF. So what is the equation you are getting? R is equal to, what is PC? Radius of curvature. And what is PF? The focal length. So you are getting radius of curvature is twice the focal length. Alright. So this is the proof for concave mirror. Now for convex mirror, how to draw the diagram? Take a ray parallel to the principal axis till the point B. Then join FB, that will be the reflected ray. Then join C and B and extend, that will be the normal. Alright. So in this case, what is the angle of incidence? This is the angle of incidence. Sorry, this is the angle of reflection. Angle of incidence is ABD and angle of reflection is DBE. So what you can write here? Angle ABD equal to angle DBE. Alright. Y as angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. This is equation 1. Is that clear? Everybody has understood? Now, you consider, this is P, sorry. Now, AB parallel PC, AB parallel PC and CD is the transversal. CD is the transversal. Then you see what will happen. Angle DBA and BCF, angle DBA equal to corresponding angle BCF. This is equation 2. I hope you have understood. If you want, I can draw it separately. This is AP and then this is PC and this is the line CG. So you see this angle, they are equal. This diagram you don't have to draw. For your understanding I have drawn it. This diagram you don't have to draw. This one only you will draw. This is for your understanding. So you see what is happening. ABD or DBA equal to BCF. F is there, no, in between. So I have written it BCF. Okay. Now consider now the triangle EBD. EBD is equal to vertically opposite angle. Just look at the diagram. CBF. This is equation 3. Clear? So you see what you are getting. ABD equal to DBE. Again DBE. Alright. ABD I have written, no? So here I should write it as ABD. Then you will not be perplexed. ABD is equal to BCF. This angle is equal to BCF. Whereas EBD is equal to CBF. So what you can write, these two angles are equal. So you can write comparing equation 1, 2 and 3. What are you getting? Angle BCF equal to CBF. So if you want, you can write down the values here. These two angles are equal. So if these two angles are equal, then what you can write? The side CF equal to BF. But as points P and B are very close to each other, so what one can write? You can write it as BF is equal to PF. Alright. So if BF equal to PF, again I am writing here. If BF is equal to PF, then you can write that PF is equal to CF. Therefore, PC is equal to PF plus CF equal to 2PF. So R is equal to twice F. Alright, miss, here whatever I have written from here to here, you can write down the same here. Clear? Please do write in the study material notebook properly. As there was no space here, that's why I have written. Okay, don't do that. Here in your copy, when you will write this portion, this portion and this portion, they are same. This portion you should write here. Okay, below the diagram. Don't do the mistake. So this is the relation between radius of curvature and focal length of a mirror. This derivation, both the derivation you must learn and practice at home. Practice should be done in the rough notebook. Next is sign convention. It's a very important concept. Alright, please try to get a clear, very clear concept of this topic. Now whenever we measure a distance, just you consider, I want to measure the distance of the whiteboard. Now I can measure the distance starting from this left end to right end, or one can measure the distance starting from the right end to left end. In both the cases, distance will come same. But in case of mirror, when we measure the distances, then always you have to measure the distance starting from the pole. Alright, you cannot measure the distance starting from any other point. So your starting point for measuring any distance should be the pole. Okay, so this is the first point for sign convention. All the distances are measured starting from pole of the mirror. Alright, then when you are measuring the distance starting from the pole, if you measure the distance along the incident ray, then it will be taken as positive, and if you measure the distance opposite to the direction of the incident ray, it will be taken as negative. So distances measured along the incident ray are considered as positive, whereas opposite to the direction of the incident ray is considered as negative. The next one is distances measured above the principal axis considered as positive and below the principal axis considered as negative. Now let us understand it for case of concave mirror and convex mirror. Okay. So you see, in case of concave mirror and convex mirror, always we generally measure 4 distances. What are that? Object distance. Okay. Object distance means what? Distance between the object and the mirror. Alright. So that is object distance. Object distance we denote it by U. So you see, just I am giving you the example. Suppose one object is here, AB. Alright. Then you see what is the direction of the incident ray in this direction. Now what is the object distance U? PB is the object distance. So when we measure the object distance, what should be your starting point? P. So you see, when you are measuring the object distance, you are going from P to B. Alright. So in front of the mirror, when you are measuring the distance in this direction, then just look at this. You are measuring the distance opposite to the incident ray. Incident ray from towards the mirror. But how you are measuring the distance? Opposite to the mirror. Got it? So what will happen? These distances will be negative. So you see, object distance U is negative here. Always object distance is negative. And what is object distance? Distance between the object and the mirror. Alright? Then next is, if you measure the distance behind the mirror. Behind the mirror, when you are measuring the distance, so this distance is negative, and when you are measuring the distance behind the mirror, look at it, you are going like this. Look at the incident ray also going in the same direction. So the distances will be positive. Is that clear? Now you are measuring the size of the object. So size of the object you are measuring above the principal axis. So it is positive. And when you are measuring the distance below the principal axis, then it will be negative. Means image. When the real images are formed. Alright. Real images are always inverted. So you see what will happen? Image size will be negative. So in this case, you can write down this way. Those who cannot apply the object, this one sign convention directly, for them I give the hints. You can remember these facts, then point wise. Remember, object distance is always negative. Now for real image, when the image is real, then where the image will be formed? In front of the mirror. In that case, image distance. Image distance means what? The distance between the mirror and the image. What is image distance? Distance between the mirror and the image. So you see, if the real image is produced, real image will be in front of the mirror. So you will measure the distance in this direction. So image distance is negative for concave mirror. Is that clear? For real image distance is negative. And then we measure object size. Object size means here AB. AB is the object size. So we denote it by O. This is not 0 or rasgulla or gulab jamun. This is O. Object size O. So O is always positive. Alright. But for real image size means the size of the image we denote it by I. I is negative. Is that clear? So these are the points you should remember for concave mirror. Another point for virtual image. for virtual image. For virtual image, V is positive and I also positive. Because you can remember that where the virtual image is formed, behind the mirror. So behind the mirror distances are positive. So V positive, and image also erect. Erect means it is above the principal axis. So positive. Is that clear? Now come to the convex mirror. For convex mirror also, if you consider AB is the object, then you see object distance is always negative. Object distance U is always negative. Now for convex mirror, virtual image is produced, never real image is produced, isn't it? This is for convex. So you see, for virtual image, you know what will be the image distance, positive, and what will be the image size, it is also positive. And here you must remember that object size, I am writing it here only, object size O is always positive. Alright, these two always same. Maybe image may be real or virtual. So object size O is positive and object distance U is always negative. But for virtual image V is positive, I is positive, and for real image V is negative and I is negative. Is that clear? Now come to the focal length. I forgot to write for that one. For focal length, concave mirror, convex mirror, sorry. For convex mirror, focal length is here. So you see this distance is positive and this distance is negative. So focal length is positive. For convex mirror, focal length is positive. And for concave mirror, focal length in which direction? It is in front of the mirror. So focal length is negative. So sign convention is very, very important for solving the numericals. So you must learn and practice the sign convention for solving the numericals, because without having a clear concept of sign convention, it is difficult to solve the numericals. Now, when you are considering a mirror, then image is produced, then object distance we consider, we represent it by the letter U. Image distance we represent it by the letter V, and focal length by F. Now the relation between V, U and F is known as the mirror equation. And what is the relation? 1 by V plus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. Alright. And remember, when we use this equation, then always V and U and F should be substituted with sign convention. Means if U is negative, you know U is always negative, so U will always be negative. For concave mirror, F is negative. For convex mirror, F is positive. And for real image, V is negative. For virtual image, V is positive. So whenever you will substitute the different values of V, U and F, you have to substitute with their proper sign depending on the situation. Alright. So this is the point you must remember, that whenever substitution of V, U and F is done in the mirror equation, then it should be done with proper sign convention. Alright, and I repeat, according to sign convention, what is the sign of U? Always negative. Then for concave mirror, F negative. For convex mirror, F positive. Then for real image, V is negative, and for virtual image, V is positive. So these are the points you have to remember. Then next term we have to know, that is known as linear magnification. From the term only one can make out. Linear magnification means how much, and this is denoted by small m. So linear magnification, it is defined as, it is the ratio of image size. Image size is represented by I to object size. It is always represented by image size to object size. Is that clear? Now, in case of linear magnification, just you see, when the real image is produced, consider the concave mirror, real image is produced, then you see O is positive, I is negative. You can remember? For concave mirror, O is positive. O is above the principal axis, O is positive, and I is inverted below the principal axis, so I is negative. So if O is positive, I is negative, then what the ratio will come? Ratio will come as negative. Now, there is another relation, that image size by object size. This mathematically you can show it in higher classes. You will do that image size by object size. It is always equal to image distance by object distance. Image distance we represent it by V, and object distance we represent it by U. Alright. So I by O equal to V by U. Clear? But when we use the sign convention, then understand it. I am just simply drawing the diagram. This diagram you don't have to draw. You understand the point here. Here you see this is the object and this is the image. Alright. So you see O is positive and I is negative. Clear? Now but consider U. U is negative and V is also negative. So when you are applying the sign convention, you are taking the ratio of V to U, it is coming positive. But when you are taking the ratio of I and O, it is coming negative. Is that clear? So how you can equate them? So this is the relation we write. That's why when we write I by O is equal to minus V by U. Just you consider this case. Consider this case. I by O is negative. Is that clear? And if you consider V by U is positive. So when you will write down minus V by U, then minus and plus, it will become minus. In that case, I by O and V by U, it will remain the same. It will become the same. So that's why always when we write the formula, then what is the formula we write for linear magnification? That M is equal to I by O equal to minus V by U. Be careful. So these are the two formulae you have to learn and remember to solve the numericals. I stands for image size, O stands for object size, whereas V is the image distance and U is the object distance. Now what are the uses of concave mirror? Alright. Now concave mirror, in your book it is written as shaving mirror, so we do not shave, ladies. Okay, so that's why I do not prefer to write as a shaving mirror. We do makeup, isn't it? So that's why concave mirror we use as a makeup mirror. Alright. Now, you know, when you are trying to put the eyeliner, lipstick or anything, then what you do? You want a magnified image of the eyebrow, magnified image of the lip, so that you can put the lip liner, eyeliner or eyebrow, anything you can do. Then you want the magnified image of that part. So we know that in a concave mirror, when the object is placed between P and F, then you get a magnified and erect image. Alright. So you see here, that's why concave mirror we use as a makeup mirror. Clear? So concave mirror is used as a makeup mirror, and generally when you do the makeup, then you will see you hold the mirror very near to your face. And boys, when they shave, they use concave mirror as a shaving mirror. The same purpose for shaving also, they need the enlarged image of the face. So they hold the mirror very near to the face so that they get a virtual and magnified image of the face. So you can say that concave mirror is used as a makeup mirror. And this is the diagram for the use of a concave mirror. So this diagram also you must draw in your study material notebook, because sometimes the question is asked that you draw the use with the proper diagram. So this is the diagram. Then next one is, it is used as reflected in torchlight and searchlight. In torchlight or searchlight, what we do, when we focus it in front, then we want a concentrated, means we want a parallel beam of rays instead of a diverging beam. If it is a diverging beam, then what will happen? It will not help, it will not serve the purpose of that device, isn't it? So you see, instead of only a bulb, if you use a concave mirror and as a reflector, then you see what is happening. If you keep the bulb, this is the bulb, don't laugh because this is the bulb, you assume. I cannot draw very nice. So this is the bulb, you have placed it at the focus of a concave mirror. Then you see from the bulb the rays are coming, falling on the mirror, and after reflection becoming a parallel beam of rays. So when it is a parallel beam of rays, then what will happen? It will be able to travel through a longer distance, and it will just serve our purpose of using that one, the torchlight and searchlight. So in torchlight and searchlight, concave mirror is used as a reflector. Then you will see the ENT specialists, that ear, nose and throat specialist, ENT doctors, when they examine the patient nose or throat, then you will see that they just wear a gear like on the head gear, and on the head in front there will be a mirror along with the bulb. So what is the purpose of that one? That is known as the doctor's head mirror. Alright, that is used specially by the ENT specialist. Alright, now in case of when the doctor want to examine the inside of ear, nose or throat, then the torchlight will not be able to send light directly within the organ. Alright, in that case, how it is done? A parallel beam of rays are allowed to fall on the concave mirror. Then concave mirror produces a converging beam of rays. So you see the rays, they are converging and entering into the inner side of nose, ear or throat, and help the doctor to see the inside of these organs, means ear, nose and throat. So the concave mirror, it is used as doctor's head mirror, and it is used like this. Okay, means parallel beam of rays, it is falling on, this is the doctor's head mirror, which is the concave mirror, and it is producing a converging beam of rays. So converging beam of rays, concentrated beam of rays, when it will fall on the inner organ, the doctor will be able to see that part clearly. So these are the uses of concave mirror. Kindly learn the uses along with the diagrams. Now the topic I am going to discuss is a very important topic of this chapter, that convex mirror, use of a convex mirror. Convex mirror is used as a rear view mirror. Alright, so what is the meaning of rear view mirror? Understand it. Now you know that in any vehicle, it may be a four-wheeler or a two-wheeler, always in front of the driver a mirror is set, so that the driver can see the back part of the vehicle. Alright, means what is coming from behind, that the driver can see through the mirror. That is known as rear view mirror. Alright, now the question is, the question on this topic come this way: which kind of mirror is used as a rear view mirror? Okay, I am telling you the question. Those who are interested in studies, they must note it down also in the notebook. Okay, what is the probable question and most frequently asked question on this topic? Which kind of mirror is used as rear view mirror and why? Alright, so your answer will be convex mirror is used as a rear view mirror. Alright, and why? That answer, if you want to know, then we have to draw this diagram. So exactly you follow the way I am drawing. That's why you see I have not drawn the diagram. Otherwise, just to make the video length shorter, I could have made the diagram. I have not drawn. Okay, why? Because you have to learn how to draw the diagram. So what you will do in your notebook, taking the help of the ruled line, you draw a plane mirror and a convex mirror. You draw a plane mirror and a convex mirror of same length, means along one ruled line. This is the way you draw the mirror. You see here, I have taken the 2 points on the same line. Then this is a convex mirror and this is a plane mirror. Alright, both the mirror you should take of same size. Alright, means you have taken it along the same line. Okay, through the same means the size of the plane mirror and size of the convex mirror should be taken as same. Okay, in the next video I am discussing, girls.